Hi and welcome to part 2 of this fascia-based Pilates class. We're going to be working on the mat more now, and before we do that we're just going to do a little warm up for the wrists. So what I'd like you to do, whether you're still standing or if you've joined me on the mat, is to interlace your fingers together, and we're going to just move your hands in every different direction possible, forwards and backwards, side to side, some circles, some kind of figure of 8 movements. Try to capture every possible movement that your wrists and hands can make. Because we are going to be loading the wrists, so we want to have them ready, warmed up and ready for that loading. When you finish there, let's bring your arms right up above your shoulders. What I want you to do is flick your hands like you're doing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So we're just flicking, flicking, flicking as fast as you can, as quick as you can, as strong as you can. And again, this is going to really warm up not only fingers, hands, but also those upper arm muscles, which are going to be helping us to stay in our positions for as long as we need to. Just 5 more. Oh, and then relax the arms, shake out those wrists, and now we're ready for loading. If you're down on the floor and you wanted to stay here, you're going to come into 4-point kneeling. If you want to join me with a roll down from standing to complete the sequence that we did before, let's do that. So, apologies you won't see my head once I stand up. Bring yourself back into a little crouch, or as and when you're ready, we're going to come from standing into a roll down. So make sure there's a little bit of space between your feet. Soften your knees. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, nod the chin to the chest, and bone by bone, let your spine gently come forwards towards the floor. Once your spine can't move anymore, tip the pelvis forwards, and then bend your knees to allow your hands to come onto the mat. Now walk your hands forward right to the other end of the mat. Bring them right under your shoulders, so you're in your plank position, and let's drop the knees gently to the mat, untuck your feet, and this is our starting position. So what you're looking for is a sense that your hips are open at the front, you're not bending at the hips. So that would be your traditional 4-point kneeling position. We want to be more of a supported plank. So you walk forwards just until your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are open. The tummy's lifting to hold you in this position. So from here, as you breathe in, push your bum up to the ceiling, bring your head down to the mat, and your back is lovely and straight. Now we're going to breathe out, curl your spine, lift your tummy, and bring your spine forwards like a cat, waving back onto your wrists and shoulders. So we breathe in, shift up and back, down with the head, breathe out, curl the spine, wave it forwards to bring your shoulders back over your wrists. We'll do 3 more. Lovely big fold in the hips, and now round your spine, curl all the way through. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. Feeling that really lovely movement for the back or for the spine. And then push yourself back into rest position, child's pose, coming off the wrists, giving them a little circle if you need to. Head could rest onto the mat, or you can make a little pillow with your hands and just take a few recovery breaths. We're going to challenge the body with a little bit more work now. So rather than keeping the knees on the mat in your supported plank, we're going to come into full plank. So let's walk ourselves forwards, back into supported plank. So the weight is in the wrists, shoulders right over your wrists, and the tummy lifted towards your spine. Let's now tuck your toes under and lift your knees. Now we're in full plank. You can feel that work for the tummy, lifting you, watching your bum doesn't drop down to the mat. On your breath in, your bum is going to go high and your head is low. Now if your back doesn't feel straight in this position, bend your knees, lift your hips, and that should bring you into a nice straight back. Then as before, we're going to curl the spine, wave it forwards. So we drop the tailbone down, lift the spine and roll forwards. Back into your supported plank. Breathe in, shift up and back. Breathe out, curling forwards. We'll do 3 more. So again, we're working into the front and the back lines, feeling how they support one another in this position. Last one. Lower the knees to the floor and sit back all the way into rest position. Taking some nice big breaths there. Again, remember you can support your head on your hands. If those wrists felt the extra work, which we loaded them with, give them a little circle or a shake. We're going to do a little bit of work now for the triceps to bring us down onto the mat in preparation for some work on our tummies. And we're going to do 2 sets, but if you just want to do the one, that's okay. It's quite a challenging exercise because we're going to be lowering our bodies from a supported plank position forwards and downwards, eventually onto our tummies. So when you are ready, let's come back into that supported plank position. Just going to come back a little bit more so you can see my upper body. Okay, from here, we're going to, what might be helpful is to have your hands just a little wider than they normally would be, just to give you that space to bring your chest through the arms. So let's start off with your elbows bending backwards towards your body. Take a breath in. Breathe out, bend them a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out a little bit more. Now notice how my head is going forwards over my hands. My bum gets lower and lower and lower. And eventually you'll lie down on your tummy. You could stay here or you could do one more set with me. So when you're ready, push yourself back up. Back into supported plank. If you want to have a quick stretch out before you do, why not? Okay, same thing again. Breathing in to prepare the body. Breathing out, small bend of the elbows. Breathe in. Breathe out, another bend. Breathe in. Breathe out, another bend. And so we just continue to lower the body to the floor. When you get done this time, stay there. And we're going to do a little bit of work first of all for the legs. So you could rest your head on your hands or a cushion or whatever feels comfortable for your upper body. The legs are going to be a little wider apart than your hips and your heels will turn in, the toes will be pointed to the corners of the mat. Upper body stays as relaxed as possible. The tummy gently draws to the spine. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, let the right leg lengthen and lift, just hovering off the mat. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out, left leg comes up. And breathe in to lower. We're going to keep alternating the legs. And I want you to feel that the pelvis keeps its neutral position. So just watch that the leg doesn't lift so high that the pelvis rocks from side to side. You want to feel that the fronts of the hips keep equal pressure on the mat. Remember, keep the tummy active as well. This is your last set. And then relax the legs. We're going to come now into a triple extension exercise. I'm just going to push out into rest position for a moment because I'm just going to turn to the other side. What I'd like you to do now is think about each extension of your upper back getting bigger. So we start off with a baby cobra prep, and then we make the next one a little bigger, and then we finish with the biggest cobra prep. We're not coming into full cobra, and we're just working through the very top of the spine. So let's start off first of all in cobra prep position. Your hands will be next to your ears, your forehead resting on the mat or onto your cushion, and the legs in the same position I described earlier. So from here, we start off drawing the tummy to the spine. Take a breath out to engage the tummy, and then breath in, small slide and small lift. Breathe out, just come halfway down, and then breathe in, go a little higher. Breathe out, go halfway down again, and now breathe in, come up into your full cobra prep. And then breathe out, come all the way down to rest the body. Take a breath in at the bottom. Breathe out, engage the tummy. Breathe in, small lift. Breathe out, halfway down. Breathe in a little higher. Breathe out, halfway down. Breathe in, coming up into your full cobra prep. And breathe out all the way down. We'll do 2 more sets at your own pace. Remember to keep the tummy engaged. So feeling that work into the back line of the body. Shoulder blades drawing down the back. The neck getting longer and longer. And that lovely strength between the shoulder blades. When you finish there, rest the upper body. Give your bum a little wiggle if you want to, just to release the lower back. And from here, we're going to come into star stage 2. So this involves, if you have the space, reaching your arms out in front of you in a V shape, just the same way your legs are behind you in a V shape. And then we're going to be lifting the straight arms and straight legs off the floor. You could do this with your bent arms, so when we lift the arm, we just hover the elbow and the hand off the floor. That would be an easier version. The same way you can actually do this with bent knees. So a little lift of the knees and lift of the elbows. If you're keeping your legs long and straight, it's just a bit more challenging because of that length. So let's start off, whichever position you've chosen for your arms and legs, relaxing the shoulders, heavy in the chest, heavy in the head. Engage the tummy. First of all, we're going to bring your head, neck and chest just away from the floor. Keep them there, take a breath in. Breathe out, left arm, right leg, lengthen and lift. Breathe into lower. Breathe out, right arm, left leg, lift. Breathe into lower. And then breathe out, come all the way down to the mat. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, come back up. Again, strong tummy and small little lifts. Don't go too high with the arms or too high with the legs. The higher you go, the more likely you are to disrupt your alignment. So we're aiming to keep the shoulders level, aiming to keep the hips level. If you want more challenge, you're going to stay lifted in your chest and just continue to alternate the arms and the legs, keeping that upper body lifted. So we just work for longer, more stamina required. Just one last one to each arm and leg, whichever version you're doing. When you've evened up, rest your head, bring the hands under the shoulders, push yourself up into rest position, child's pose. Those of you who prefer, come onto your backs, hug your knees to your chest. Stretch out those back muscles you've been working, upper and lower backs. Deep breaths in and out. And then when you're ready, come into 4-point kneeling. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to come into our rippling cat in this position. So this is similar to what we've done before, but we're starting from 4-point kneeling position rather than planks or supported planks. We start with a cat. So when you're ready, tuck the tailbone down, lift your tummy, round your spine into a lovely cat shape. Then you're going to sit your bum halfway back towards your heels. Then straighten your spine. So stick your bum out, lift your chest, look to your hands. When your back is straight, shift your weight back over your knees and hands. Breathe out, come into your cat. Breathe in, go halfway back. Breathe out, straighten your spine. Breathe in, come forwards. So we're using the tummy to lengthen the spine. We're using the breath to increase that length into the lower back. And then releasing out of the spine, or out of that curve, to come back to our starting position. We'll do 3 more. And on this last one, you can stay all the way back. Just sending the bum back and back and back and back and back into rest position. And then rest your chest, your head, reach the arms in front. Or you can bring your hands under your head and come into your resting position here. From here, we're going to come back into our down dog, the inverted V, and do a little bit of work for the legs and the feet. We're going to stay up here for a little bit of time, so if you do need to stop and rest, just stop and rest. You can rewind the video and play it again. So what I want you to do is start off in your 4-point kneeling position. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. The back is lovely and straight. First of all, tuck your toes under. And then when you're ready, lift your knees and lift your bum. And then straighten your legs as much as you can. I'm going to walk my feet back a little bit more. I just need a little bit more length and space. I'm going to keep my knees slightly bent to help my back straighten as much as I can. Now what I want you to do here is lift your heels as high as you can to crease the tops of your toes. Then push your heels as low as you can towards the floor. Rise back up onto your toes and then go down through the heels. Don't forget to keep your tummy working as you work through this position. Spread your fingers apart. Push your arms, your hands into the mat. And almost pull the mat apart between your hands to engage your shoulders. This will help you to stay here longer. This is your last one. You're going to stay up on your toes. Bend your knees now. Just before they touch the floor, push them back up. Heels go down. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Straighten the legs, heels go down. Let's add a percussion bounce. Bounce, bounce. Push up, heels back. Bounce, bounce. Push up, heels back. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Last one. Stay here, and now you have a choice. Either walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Let the head be heavy as you take the weight off the arms. Give the arms a little shake if you need to, the head a little nod and shake if you want to. Connect your tummy, and as you breathe out, roll yourself back up. Bone by bone by bone. When you get to the top, the last thing to come up is your head, and then let your shoulders gently circle, release that pressure that we put through them. Turn your head gently from side to side. And we finished with that particular session. So well done, really good work. There's some tough ones there. You've done really well. I'll see you for part 3 in just a moment. Bye for now.